Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about brand selection today and choosing the essential oil company that you trust. And there are a lot of them out there, and there's so much information, and it's hard to make an informed decision when there is so much information. Who do you trust? Who do you ask all your questions to? So first of all, I want you to know that I love answering questions about essential oils and herbs, and if there's something that I don't know the answer to, I love finding it for you because then I learned something new. So I'm always excited to help people. So I mean it when I say if there's something that you're kind of dealing with and you want an opinion or you want to talk with someone in person, you should text me or call me or message me on this platform, whatever is your method of getting a hold of someone. I'm always available to answer questions. Okay, so when you're making a selection, I know it can feel really overwhelming. I think there are just a few things that I would take into consideration. One, I like to know how long the company has been in business that I'm purchasing from or that I'm trusting, instilling my trust in, because the way that I use essential oils is I put them on our bodies in our house, and I put them in our mouths sometimes. And even when you're just diffusing, you're breathing it. So it's in a sense going into your lungs and into your body. So I just like to know that what I'm using is really safe and really pure. And so that's why I've chosen the company that I chose years and years ago. Anyway, so looking at how long a company's been in business is something you could do, and the company that I've chosen has been in business for more than 25 years. So without any recalls or anything. So you want to look at farming practices, I think. Like, where are your plant products coming from? Are they coming from a third-party farm? Are they coming from an organic farm? Is the farm using practices that are sustainable? And you don't want to over-harvest a plant. That's not an ethical practice. So I just like the company that I've chosen, if there is a shortage of a certain plant, they just don't make that oil for a while until that plant is able to be sourced ethically again. So I like to look at the testing labs and how things are tested. Are there third-party testing labs? What kinds of tests are they doing? And this is something that I learned a little bit more about when I took my aromatherapy certification. So I feel like once you find something that you trust, find a company that you trust, you don't necessarily need to keep researching each of the testing procedures, and you don't have to continue with that research. I think I found this company, like 14 or 15 years ago, and it has been it's worked really well for our family. We've had a lot of successful experiences, and there's not anything that I can think of that would make me doubt their practices and the purity of the oils that I've chosen. So once I found them, I didn't need to look anywhere else. And there were essential oils that I was using before I found Young Living, and they were oils that I was buying from the grocery store or something. And I don't think that those were necessarily bad, but I couldn't use them in the same way that I use these essential oils. So I put them on my body and in my body often. You just want to be really mindful of what you're choosing. So you want to make sure that the products you're using are free of synthetics, and they can be very hormone disrupting. They can mess with your endocrine system, synthetics. So you want to make sure that the farming practices are pesticide free, and because as we all know, pesticides can also mess with your body. So are they safe for internal use? If they are they labeled so? So there's a whole bunch of, you don't want to just go get a lavender oil at the grocery store and then eat it, or even put it on your body if you're not certain that it isn't pure. So there's just a lot to take into consideration, and unfortunately our country doesn't have super strict regulations in place to keep us safe in that way, so we have to do our own research. But I'm here to tell you that I have found a company that I trust, and I would be happy to answer questions that any of you have about usage and anything that comes to mind that you're uncertain of. And if I don't know the answer, I'll always find the answer for you. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you are wondering what on earth to do or where to begin, or if it feels so daunting that you just finally decide that you're not even gonna use essential oils or herbs because it's too much to take into consideration all of the things that you need to think about to make sure that the products you're using are safe, then you should ask someone that you trust. And then I know one last thing is I think that some people can tend to be turned off by the direct sales aspect of a company, and that is something that I'm also really happy to talk with you about. It has provided our family with security that I feel like could be an opportunity for anyone, but again, you don't have to do that. You don't have to sell the essential oils. I think just finding a company that you trust and that you know is really safe and using safe practices is key. So if you want to talk about it, you should get a hold of me.